Hello everyone and welcome to the Utopian broadcast channel. I just finished watching a two-part episode in Voyager called Scorpion, where we got to see the war between the Undine or Species 8472 against the Borg. After watching those two episodes, it got me thinking, is there another species in the sci-fi realm that is similar to the Undine but are less advanced and would be a better matchup to fight against the Borg? The war between the Borg and the Undine were pretty much one-sided, and the only reason why the Borg survived was due to the help of the crew of the Voyager. Probably the best alien race that's similar to the Undine but are less advanced are the Shadows from Babylon 5. I already created a video comparing the Shadows and the Undine, which seemed to be well liked by my viewers. So I thought it might be a great comparison video to see the race like the Shadows face against a force that's more advanced than what they're used to, and also have a very similar philosophy to them as well. The Shadows are one of the oldest first ones in the Babylon 5 universe, and their name was given by the younger races, and their real name is unknown to us. They look like a cross between a spider and a praying mantis. They're a shade of dark purple and black, and have the ability to turn themselves invisible. The Shadows believe in chaos is the best way for a race to grow and to improve. The strong reign, while the weak perish. Their philosophy has helped them become quite powerful physically and mentally. The Shadows use organic technology, and their main ship is no exception. It's a living ship that's the shape of a huge spider and is sometimes referred to as the Crab. It's capable of jumping in and out of hyperspace with ease. It has an organic armored hull that's capable of self-repairing, and has one high energy beam weapon which can cut through anything and has one jump point to stabilizer. The ship only needs one organic being to act as a CPU. It's also capable of releasing Shadow Fighters, which is also an organic ship as well, which has very similar capabilities as the main Shadow vessel, but fires pulse bolts instead of beams. The main benefit of the fighter is that it doesn't require a living being to operate. The Borg, on the other hand, are cybernetic humanoids, or cyborgs, from the Delta Quadrant. The Borg are a combination of different species that were assimilated by the Borg Collective. The Collective wipes out the individuality and only has one goal, which is perfection, by assimilating other species, technology, and culture to get to their goal, a goal that will never be met and will plague the known universe. The Borg are split up in different factions that are needed to improve the Collective. The Borg does not have a centralized government besides the Borg Queen, whose main goal is to bring order to chaos, in other words, to protect the Collective from outsiders. The Borg main ship is the Borg Cube, which can fit up to 130,000 drones, and is capable of transwarp and is defended by a subspace field, electromagnetic field, regeneration, force field, and adaptive shields. Their armaments are beams, projectile weaponry, cutting beams, magnetic metric guided charges, missiles, and tractor beams. In this scenario, I don't think the Borg will be able to beam any of their drones to the Shadow vessels, and I don't think they'll be able to assimilate the Shadows either. The Shadows have an advanced immune system, which was improved by millions of years of evolution. It's highly likely that the Borg will build a portal to get into the Babylon 5 universe, then the Shadows trying to get into the Star Trek universe. So in this scenario, the Borg decided to enter the Babylon 5 universe. Luckily for the Babylon 5 universe, the Borg portal opened up in the boundaries of Zahadum. A single Borg Cube entered the unknown universe. When the Borg Cube entered into the range of Zahadum, they scanned the surface. Out of nowhere, two Shadow ships appeared in front of the cube. The Borg sent out their message. The Shadows didn't take kindly to this message and used their beams to cut through the Borg Cube before they can even react. In seconds, 75% of the cube was destroyed. The Shadows were intrigued by the Borg ship design. Even after the ship was mostly destroyed, it was still able to slowly fix itself. Even the surviving drones were still hard at work getting the ship operational again. The Borg sent a fleet to investigate the missing Borg Cube. It didn't take long for the Borg Cube to find out what happened. In front of the Shadow homeworld, there was leftover debris from the Borg Cube, and Shadow ships were hovering over the debris. Of course, the Borg Cube sent out their message again, which started the first grand battle between the Borg and the Shadows. The Shadows were amazed that these intruders that didn't have organic technology were able to give the Shadow vessel so much trouble. The Borg were not able to adapt to the Shadow's weapons, but due to their advanced weapons, they were able to damage a few Shadow vessels, and 3 Borg ships were able to destroy one. At the end of the fight, the Borg were destroyed and the Shadows won, but the Shadows became more intrigued by these new intruders. After looking through the data of the first cube and the surviving ships that were not destroyed in the last battle, the Shadows learned that these intruders were not just a race, but a combination of different races that were linked together by a collective, and their one mission is to assimilate the other cultures to reach their goal of perfection. The Shadows respected that goal and wanted to influence the Borg with their own personal goals as well. The issue was, how would they convince a collective to listen to another species if their goal was to assimilate other species that had advancements that they wanted? The Shadows concluded if they infected a few Borg drones with Shadow ideology and the beliefs that the Shadows were gods, the collective would consume this knowledge, and over time the collective would be under the control of the Shadows. The Shadows didn't have the resources to go into the Star Trek universe and fight the Borg, because the Borg territory was extensive, and they didn't have the resources to fight such a big force. And also, the Shadows had their own goals in their own universe to deal with. The Shadows placed the remaining drones into a shadow vessel, which destroyed them and gave them a new personality, which was their utter dedication to the Shadows and their goals. The Shadows opened up the portal to the Star Trek universe and dropped the changed drones on abandoned planets, leaving a beacon for the Borg collective to pick them up. It didn't take long for the Borg to pick up the drones and reconnect them to the collective. Months later, the infection spread to a couple systems, and these Borgs were no longer in the belief of the collective goals. All these drones wanted to do was spread chaos and join the Shadows and help them. The Borg collective disconnected themselves from these infected drones and sent a fleet to destroy them. The infected Borg sent a distress signal to the Shadows for help. The Shadows sent a fleet to help increase the new collective technology and help with battle strategies. The war was bloody and the Borg collective was pushed back, but luckily for them, the second Shadow War started and the Shadows needed to bring their resources back to their universe to help with the conflict, and the Shadows brought the new collective back with them to help fight. The Borg collective disconnected the portal to the Babylon 5 universe, hoping that the Shadows and the new collective will never return, knowing that they will not survive if they did. I would love to know your thoughts on what you guys think would happen if the Borg went to war against the Shadows, and also if you agreed with my scenario. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell to keep yourself updated on my channel. Also, please click on these other two videos if you enjoyed this one. If you enjoy my content, then please follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching Utopian Broadcast Channel, and hope to see you next time on my channel. Thank you.